trying to tell these like college students or these young professionals things we wish we knew when they were in when we were in their position, so they can do it right the first time rather than taking a couple times to do it.
Just like, what a lot of us did is just like learn from our mistakes. And so we're kind of saying, hey, look at the mistakes that we made. This is what we've learned through this process, even though, we're still kind of early in our career. Like, this is what we've learned so far. And here's how you can take what we've learned and like make it your own and like go succeed.
Welcome to the Game of Her Own podcast, a podcast about women who work in sports. I'm your host, Jahaan Blake. After 15 years of working for 3 major league teams, including the Boston Red Sox, Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Chicago Cubs, I discovered the one thing I loved the most was helping women in sports shatter glass ceilings and take their seat at the table. I loved it so much that I made a business out of it. I have the honor of coaching high-performing women in the sports and entertainment industry and supporting them as they go after exactly what they want in their career. So if you are feeling tired of waiting on the sidelines, done being overlooked for promotions, and you're ready to pull ahead of the pack and take your career to the next level, girl, I'm here for it. I also created the Game of Her Own podcast to support you as well. We are here to share the stories of incredible women who work in sports and entertainment. These leaders and trailblazers will inspire you with their success and the lessons they've learned along the way to the top. Ladies, there is nothing like women empowering women. I am so honored you're here.
Y'all know that I love a good story. I love hearing about women in sports doing their things, paving the way for those that are coming behind them. Our next guests are doing that times 10. If you haven't heard of Jayme Floyd and Sky Whitman, I want you to hit pause and make sure you follow them on all the social channels, especially TikTok, where they have built a community of over 42,000 followers. Yep, 42,000 followers. They help them with tips on how to get a job in sports. They both have a great story, and I can't wait for y'all to hear all of the things that they're doing. They both work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they met. Jayme is the marketing and fan engagement coordinator. Sky is an account executive. They share all about their journey. You don't want to miss it when they talk about what it's like to be part of a Super Bowl championship team, how good leaders manage high-achieving team members, why you should tell your manager exactly what you need in order to do your best work, what happened when Sky's original plan of getting a job with the Bucs did not go as planned, and how Jayme and Sky supported each other. I love this one. Supported each other while they were competing against each other in the same department. All right, Game of Her Own listeners, let's do this. Sky and Jayme, welcome to the Game of Her Own podcast. I'm so excited you guys are here.
Happy to be here.
Yes, thanks for having us on.
All right, so let's jump into it. And I want to know both of your stories when it comes to when you first fell in love with sports. So Jayme, why don't you kick us off?
Cool. Yeah, we definitely both have different stories here. For me, it happened, I was really young. I was about 7 years old, and my brother joined Pee Wee football, and I wanted to do the same. They didn't let girls play football back then, though, so I joined the cheer team. My family was heavily involved in youth sports growing up. And then I'm from Sacramento originally, and my parents were season ticket holders for the Sacramento Kings, so I'm still a huge fan there. So that's when I first fell in love with professional sports as well, too.
Completely different story for me. I was like the daughter and sister that would like beg my parents not to force me to go to like the, Washington football or Commanders or whatever football games, like back when I was a kid, because they had season passes we were like grandfathered into. Like I would beg them not to take me. Like my brother played sports, like it was miserable going to his games. Like I hated all things sports. And then when I was in high school, I started to kind of like hockey. When I got into college, I absolutely fell in love with the Washington Capitals, kind of out of nowhere. It is my hometown team. It really came from going to a Lightning game against the Capitals when I was in college at the University of Tampa. So that was like my first introduction to loving an actual professional sport. But I personally never saw myself like working in the industry until kind of accidentally falling into it while I was in college.
You're going to make a lot of people jealous with that last part of accidentally falling into it, but you hear that a lot. Wait, okay, Jayme, I want to go back to this Pee Wee football thing. So did you try to play and they were like, absolutely not? Like it wasn't even like debate?
It didn't go out too much. I mean, it was so long ago now, but it was more like, well, can I play too? And that was like just absolutely not an option. The option was to join the cheer team. And I was still too young for that even. So I remember I was just like on the sidelines waiting. And then the next season I got to try out for cheer. And that totally sent my life into a different trajectory. I was highly competitive growing up and then cheered through college and worked internationally with this sport after that. So I think it ended up working out in my favor that I wasn't able to play on the football team because I don't know if I would have been very good at it.
No. Yeah. I mean, you probably wouldn't have had a career in playing in football, right? Like it probably would have ended pretty quickly, but the cheer side is incredible. Like you've done that was it hard to, let me even finish my sentence because I'm so excited. But so like you did that for a really long time. And then, right, like after college as well, through college, after college, was it hard to leave?
It's kind of like being in the sports industry now. You like form your family, you form your community within it. So it definitely was hard to leave, but I think I had bigger dreams. I wanted to work in pro sports, so that lessened the blow a little bit. But I'm still involved, and I still follow along. I still have a lot of friends in the industry, and a lot of girls that I coached once I graduated college. A lot of girls I coached are now cheering at the collegiate level. So that's really great to see them and be able to follow their journeys now as well too. But I'm just a bit more of a spectator now.
All right.
And hopefully, at some point I'll be able to coach a little bit more, like on the volunteer basis. But
all right. Well, then I really need your professional opinion. How do you feel about the show Cheer?
Well, that's great. I actually know I used to work with one of the coaches on Cheer, ironically, season 2. I don't know if anyone really highly follows it. No, but it's great. That's a different type of collegiate style that I was used to. I actually worked under the same umbrella. It's the varsity brands, but they compete under what's called NCA. I worked for the company called UCA. It's just two different styles a little bit. But no, it's a pretty accurate depiction of what it is to be a competitive collegiate cheerleader. You see how hard it is on everyone's bodies. And yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
The sport has developed a lot more since I was in it though. So those skills they're doing now are amazing to me. It's incredible. Yeah.
It's crazy how much it's evolved. And like my husband was watching the show and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not watching this. And then I watched every single episode. Like I was obsessed and I was like, don't Google it. Don't tell me what really happened. Cause you probably figure it out. I'm like, I don't want to. Yeah. I got really, really into it.
I started watching it after Jayme, Jayme kind of got me to start watching it.
Yeah.
And then I finished the second season before she did. And I was like texting her, I was like, Jayme, you gotta keep watching. Come on, you gotta speed it up. I need to talk to someone about this.
That's so funny. Yes, it is a good show.
I be able to have that though, because now like people who don't have that background kind of understand my world from before. So I love that. Yeah,
it's intense, and I don't know why. And like I know, like we just met in person for the first time a couple of months ago, but I get that feeling from you that you would be a really good coach. Like I don't know what it is, but I just sense that from you. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Can't you see it? I can feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wait, let's talk about this a little bit more. So like you really didn't want to go to sporting events and you were not feeling it. And then you accidentally fell into sports. So talk about how that happened, how you accidentally fell into working in it.
I think that a lot of the reason I didn't like sports as a kid was because we went to football games when it was cold, baseball games when it was hot. And I was just like, I was just never comfortable. And I can be sensitive sometimes to the elements, I guess.
But you live in Florida, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. More when I was a kid, of course. I was like a bratty kid like that. So when I got older, I knew I wanted to work in some form of entertainment. So my mom was the director of fun and games, they called her, for multiple like radio stations way back, when mom was cool. Shout out, mom.
Wait. Her title was what?
The director of fun and games. It was basically a play on director of promotions.
That's the best title ever. I thought you were kidding. Like, I thought you were like, she was in fun and games.
No, like literally like that. That's what they called her. So she worked in radio promotions for many, many years. So I kind of thought I was going to follow in her footsteps. When I was in college, I started working part-time for iHeartMedia, started that in Washington, D.C., and then was lucky that a lot of the stations in Tampa are like sister stations of the stations in D.C. So I really just got to kind of continue from a summer internship, for my junior year. But then through some networking and connections in the radio world, was introduced to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers corporate partnership staff. And I had a game day role my senior year with them. And from that point on, I was sold, and sports was it for me.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I remember it, although it was 20 years ago for me, but I do remember that feeling, that same exact feeling. I was like, oh, I'm hooked and I'm not going to make any money, am I? No, I'm probably not going to make a lot of money. Like, but I'm having fun. So it's fine. It's fine. Right. Like
it's fulfilling, you know?
In other ways.
Yeah, exactly. Tell everybody what you guys do now and who you do it for.
I am an account executive for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And that's where I met Sky. I also work at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was previously also an account executive, but now I am the marketing and fan engagement coordinator.
Yes.
As of a few months ago.
Yes. All right. You guys are doing some incredible things there. And now you guys are, and you're Super Bowl champions. Like I was cheering for you guys to win. Cause I was like, well, I want them to have big ass rings and to show it off on there to all the people who are trying to get to sports who are following you guys. But
we did just that.
I mean, and as you should. I mean, I got my ring. I have two, and I got one in 2004 and another one in 2007 when I was working for the Red Sox. And I still show them off because I mean, it's a big deal. And not everybody in their career, obviously, you know, is not part of a championship team.
Oh,
like
100%.
what? Yeah,
I did not see that happening so early in my career.
You never get into sports thinking I'm going to win a championship.
Especially for us when we're in sales, you typically don't work for a team that is championship caliber because the sales teams normally follow teams that struggle a bit more because they need more help in sales.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Kind of flipped it on its head. Yeah.
Yes, you're exactly right. Because I don't think I realized the magnitude of it. And I'd love to hear your experience, but I don't think I realized the magnitude of what was happening. Like we went through postseason and, you know, in 2003, and then we got knocked out by the Yankees. And it was the first time baseball made me cry. And then 2004, you know, we won. And I was like, the whole experience was incredible. Like they took the whole entire front office to, you know, St. Louis and like, you know, we're down on the field after they won. But like, I never knew all that was coming. And maybe part of it is because there was no real social media then, right? So you didn't know what you didn't know. So like every part of it was like a surprise and like just incredible. And then the parade, and then we're getting rings. And like, I never thought when I got my job in 2002, like I never thought, oh, I can't wait to win a World Series so I can get a ring and show it off. That never even crossed my mind.
No, that's not what I thought of when I took the job with the Bucs.
And once that process starts, like once you kind of start getting there, you never really believe that it's actually going to happen. So like you can kind of be deep in the playoffs and it's like you're getting there, but none of it really feels real.
You keep winning and it's keep.
Yeah, you just keep winning, and then you're like, wait, there's another game, and then another game, and there's only a couple teams left, and then you know, and it's like,
and then we were like shutting them out in the first half, and we're like, this is the Super Bowl, and we're gonna win.
Like I have such vivid memories of like me and Jayme like being next to each other, you know, at the Super Bowl and looking at each other and kind of just being like, this is it. Like this is about to happen. Like we're here. This is real life. We're not dreaming. Like this is actually happening. And you just never expect that until like literally it happens. And you're like,
no,
the fireworks and the confetti.
Yeah.
And the after party and parades. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, wait, did we really just win? Like we won. Oh, okay. We're about to go. Oh, okay. Like, oh, and you guys were in the situation where you were home, right? Like you were playing on your, oh my God, I forgot about that. Like you guys were so you're not traveling. You're not like, okay, we're gonna get back on the plane and go back to the city and be like, we won. Like you were in it. Like you were already.
It was remarkable.
Was that? How soon was that after you started your jobs?
For me, I started in July 2019.
And then I started in December of 2019. So a little over a year, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
Year and a half for me, year for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. So you guys are both around the same
playoff
time.
drought to a Super Bowl championship. It was just nuts.
Woo! That, and then you had a really good run again. So I was like, oh my God, is it going to happen again? What's really funny is I'm like thinking about you guys and Tom Brady. Like, isn't that kind of crazy? Like, is this going to happen for Jayme and Sky and Tom Brady?
But mostly Jayme and Sky, of course, you know. Since we put so much effort in on the field.
Yeah.
I remember messaging you guys and I hadn't met you in person yet. And I'm like, I'm totally like here rooting for you. And it's the first time I didn't work a Super Bowl in like 5 or 6 years because of COVID. And I just I was like, I cannot put myself in that situation. So I'm like, I guess I have to watch them literally like from the couch this year. And so I was like, this is actually fun. Like I can think about other stuff. And I remember messaging you guys and I was like telling my husband, I was like, these two girls work for the Bucs and they're so awesome. And I want them to win.
We
Oh,
won
that's
because
awesome.
of the energy that you put in for us.
Love the support.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for recognizing that. All right, let's talk about Jayme, let's talk about, you worked at Kroenke for what, 2 years? You've had some great experience, both of you have, and you got promoted there after a year. You just got a promotion, 4 months ago at the Bucs. So what has that been like? How was that advocating for yourself, or just give us a sneak peek behind the curtain of what that's been like for you?
I think both of my promotions have completely different stories. Definitely back when I was with the Nuggets and with Kroenke Sports in Denver, it was my first taste of, of the sports industry. And I thought I could put my head down, work really hard, and my work was going to prove it for myself. And then I was going to earn the promotion that way, because my role was in inside sales. So inside sales, for those who don't know, is, typically like about a year long, intense sales training and sales program, with the idea of being promoted to an account executive position once it's over. So I thought my numbers are going to speak for myself. I'll be, the number one producer. I'll create all these great group programs, and I'll just show that I'm the best salesperson, and I'll get promoted. I learned quickly, the sports industry is a little bit different than that. You do have to advocate for yourself, and you need to be known, within the industry and to different hiring managers. So I personally wanted to get promoted a lot sooner than that year, but I was patient, and I finally took my manager's advice of advocating for myself and being a little bit more loud, and that is what ultimately helped me get the promotion there. But I think, moving over to the Bucs, I learned from that mistake, and plus I was a bit more mature this next time around when I decided to move into marketing, and it was completely different. It wasn't following that exact track that was the sales track. I wasn't moving into a management title or into a suites position. I was switching departments completely. But when the role opened up, and it kind of changed a little bit as well too, I brought myself back to younger Jayme. And I was like, if younger Jayme could have made up a role, this is probably what she would have wanted. And Sky and I have been giving people advice on TikTok to go for it and ask questions and put yourself out there. And I sat on it for a couple of days. And then I was like, wait, I am telling all these random strangers on the internet, go for it, ask questions, go for the job. And I'm not even going for a job internally with my own company. And I was like, okay, this is silly. And so I set a meeting with HR to make sure I did everything the right way, and just went from there and totally went for it. And I'm so thankful to be with an organization that's receptive to people's passions changing, and receptive to me changing my own career path. And it's been overwhelmingly awesome.
That's great. I love that. And I actually
feel good story.
Yeah, I love that story. I love that you were coaching yourself, right? Through coaching others and helping them, telling them to go for it. And then you're like, wait, I have to go for it too. What am I doing? And so talk about what it was like, and this could be the Bucs or, Kroenke Sports or anywhere in your career, but what have the good leaders done? To me, you both strike me as ambitious, high achieving women, right? So managing others' ambition is hard, right? Because it doesn't always work out timing wise. And it's not, you may want something, but you can't have it. And so I think that the good leaders, have to be very particular or very intentional about how they receive that from you and how they talk to you about it. So I'd love to just hear from you how you've, what good leaders you've run into along the way.
Several. I think I definitely think back to my time with Kroenke, my first manager, Elliot Critchfield. I'm not sure if you know him. He's who taught me sales, who taught me the ins and outs of the sports industry. I found him as a good leader because he also showed up for me. I feel like sometimes you see a good leader when you show up to them and you come to them, but he was someone who would also take that step to approach me with things I could be doing better, or go out of his way to tell me I was doing well at something. So that's something I always look for in a leader, is kind of that reciprocal relationship. But I think another really cool leadership style that I've encountered is when a leader can, a man or a management style, I guess I should say, is when they can delegate a task to you and basically tell you to do something, but you don't realize they're talking down to you or telling you what to do, and they pump you up to do that successfully.
I love that, right? Thinking about giving you a task, and we don't know what it looks like, and then just kind of letting you do you, not talking down to you. I guess I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, but it's they trusted you. That leader, that manager trusted you. And not all managers are good leaders. Not all executives are good leaders. And it's why I asked the question, because it's hard to find. So I'm all right, who are these women working for? Because right? Like, because it's not everybody knows how to, and I'm doing a workshop on it soon with a group of CEOs about how to lead high achieving women, because it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't think it's rocket science, but I think there's a lot of things that people forget, and it's simple things, right? Just like building trust by giving me a job and not making me feel like it's busy work, making me feel like more like I'm a partner in it. Is that an accurate description?
I think, partnership rather than like a top-down mentality.
I think it's also like, it's so important to understand how each person likes to receive feedback. And maybe that's more a female thing, because like, or maybe it's really just a human thing, honestly. But like personally, I know that I do better with actual words of affirmation feedback, like the pat on the back, like the telling me like, thank you for doing this. Like that for me is a better way to get me to like feel nurtured and like feel comfortable in the space and feel like, okay, let me keep doing this. Let me ask for more. Let me do more, and like Jayme is managed completely differently from that. So we've talked about that before. We're just like complete opposites in regards to like what we need from our leaders. But what makes a good leader is that kind of person who can read that from all of the people they manage and then execute that differently for each person.
Yes, I think that's really well said. And I like that you know what you need. Not everyone knows either. I don't know that I knew. I thought I needed tough love, and then because that's what I needed on the soccer field.
I thought that too. No, I don't need that. Yeah,
no, right? Yeah, I needed it on the soccer field when I was playing. Right,
yes,
my coaches all knew. Like when I come off the field during halftime, don't you dare tell me what I did well, because then I get content. And I don't feel like I need to go
stay angry
with myself. Yes, exactly. So I thought when I started working that I needed that same sort of, coaching and from a manager. And so I would tell my managers, tough love, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. No, that doesn't work. It does not work at all. So like I had to figure out what that was.
It's nice like when your feedback is asked for, but then it's also like implemented and addressed later. Like don't just like have a team meeting just to have a team meeting.
Yes. Yeah. It's not rocket science, right? Like it's just get to know me, which is a lot of work, right? Like people who subscribe to like servant leadership, it's a lot more work for them as a leader. But at the same time, I think it ends up, you guys tell me, it pays off, right? Because you guys are invested in what you do, but not just because you work for the Bucs and you have a Super Bowl championship ring, right? And you run an amazing, incredible TikTok. How many followers do you guys have?
42,000.
I don't even know what to do with that. So like you guys have incredible, following, and that's not, while that's exciting to you, I'm sure, that's not what drives you to show up for work every day and do your best work. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, they're two totally different avenues that we're in. Yeah. It's almost like our TikTok, like
passion project
is a passion project that's like kind of stemmed from our industry and from what we do, but it's taken on like a mind of its own now. And so, and I think they both motivate each other though, because doing well on our TikTok, it also contributes to like other things. It's relative to our career, and when we do better in our career, it's fun. Like when I got promoted, it was fun to share that on the TikTok. So it kind of like bounces back and forth.
And when we first started the TikTok, I think we both needed that creativity. Like in that time, like we needed an outlet for like our creative like juices, and we got that from the TikTok. So that was like something that became and has been for like over the last year extremely fulfilling for both of us, like alongside our day-to-day jobs.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Now tell me, I want to come back to TikTok in a second because I have lots of questions about that too. But so Sky, tell me, what was it like for you when you first became full-time? You had an internship. Did I get that right? You had an internship. You also worked for the Rays. Like, so you had these little stints here and there, all really good jobs. And then like, you got it. You got the full-time job, which is like, I mean, I know it was a long time ago, but congratulations. That's not easy to do. Yeah. So what was that like for you?
When I had the part-time job with the Bucs in college, I had so much fun. And that was, like I had said before, like what solidified, this is why I want to work in the industry. Like this feeling that I get at the stadium on game day, unmatched, don't want to do anything else. Like this is what I want to experience till the day I die kind of thing. And then I applied. So that was technically considered a part-time role. It was a game day job. Mm-hmm. So that was during my senior year. After my senior year was coming to an end, I signed a lease in Tampa and like, you know, at a house with one of my closest friends. And I was like, I'm getting a paid internship with the Bucs post-grad. It's happening. There's nothing anyone can do about it. I'm getting this graduate internship position. Nobody is going to stop me. Well, I didn't get it.
No. Okay.
I did not get it.
And that was like build up. I was like, oh, she got it.
Yeah,
like,
no,
totally.
absolutely not. No.
Good storytelling. Good storytelling.
Yeah, thank you. It's the dramatics. So yeah, no, didn't get it. So for me, initially the heartbreak, I'm crushed. It's rejection. It's terrible. And it ended up completely like redirecting me. You know, we always say redirection, not rejection. Well, it completely redirected me to kind of hone in on exactly what I saw myself doing in the industry at that time and actually going for something specific. Because at that point, I was not knowledgeable about how to get into this industry. I was kind of like, I've got my foot in the door. I'm good. I was entitled. And I didn't realize that there were just like how competitive it was. And so I needed, I think, to be humbled back then. So after that, I did kind of zone in on sales and I ended up getting my first job with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. I was there for just a few months before starting my inside sales program with the Tampa Bay Rays. And during my time with the Rays, I don't think I realized how much I wanted to be back with the Bucs until I got the opportunity and it happened. And I was like, oh my God, this coming full circle, like this is where I want to be. And I love it. I had such a chip on my shoulder and I got back and I was like, you know what? I am going to prove that I was supposed to be here, you know, from that point on, from that graduate internship. And I have put like everything I can into this organization. And I feel like I've done everything I can to keep that energy like over the last almost 3 years because it is so important to me. So it's like I still got that little chip on my shoulder. Like you didn't take me then, but I'm here now.
So
but it's all good stuff. Like I wasn't ready for it back then, and I just didn't realize it yet.
Sure, like you can think of it that way. I mean, I like that. In my head, I'm like, yes, you probably were, but like it doesn't always work out, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it didn't work out for you then, but like you didn't stop. Like you didn't let that crush you. You didn't say, well, I'm going to have to. I'm done with sports. Like I'm going to go get another job. Like you kind of like you bounced back.
Yeah. The chip on her shoulder was definitely like obvious, like through her performance. Cause I remember I was the next hire after her. And then our manager at the time was like, the other new girl is just like killing it. She's leading the team in sales every month. And she's like doing all these extra different things. And he's like, I can't wait. You're going to match your energy so well. I hope you're just as great as her. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. So it definitely paid off to have that chip on her shoulder.
How did that feel, Jayme? So like coming into that, knowing that Sky was there, you didn't know her yet, right?
Well, I'm a competitive person.
Oh, I like it. So for you, that comparison game was fire for you.
Yeah.
Is that right?
But then I met her and she was great. And we kind of like used each other as,
we would it was interesting because I think it would have been really understandable if we both came in and we wanted to like beat each other out in like a, I want to be the girl on top kind of way. But instead, kind of what we did was we brought each other up with each other. So like, especially once COVID, you know, happened and we were working from home and, you know, we signed Tom Brady and like the craziness was happening and we were all isolated from each other. We leaned on each other so much. Like there is probably not one person I spoke to throughout the pandemic, like including my family, like as much as Jayme while we were working.
Say more about this. Help us paint this picture. So this is like the beginning of 2020, right?
Yes.
Like, and then you're new to the Bucs. You are in this job where it's like, I'm sorry, but like inside sales is cutthroat. Like you have to produce and you have to be the best, right? And then you guys could have easily been competitive against each other. And you didn't. Like you kind of just supported each other. And I'm sure you like had some like a really good, healthy, friendly competition going on between each other. But like you really leaned on each other instead of isolating.
It was kind of like if I'm gonna be, you know, number one, like Jayme has to be number two. Or like if she was like number two and I was number four, she's like, no, you have to get up to number three, you know? So like we would like push each other to like,
we would only be happy if we were like the one and two, like otherwise we're like, we gotta keep going.
Man, I love that. I hate when people talk about like, and it exists, but like how women are like competitive against each other, right? Because like, I don't know if you guys feel like this, and I'd be really interested to know, but like a lot of times women feel like, well, there's not enough room for all of us, right? Like, so I got to get in and I got to be in this boys club. And I think that this boys club is not going to be a boys club anymore. But like, I just feel like there's so much talk about women hating on women. Let's just keep it simple, right? Like people say that all the time. And I don't know. Do you guys see that, or tell me your experience?
Yeah, I guess back when I was with the Nuggets, when I was promoted into the account executive role, I went to like the season sales, which was, for some reason, that team was like male dominated, while like our group's team was like more female dominated. Kind of interesting, but it was a group of 9 guys and 1 female at the time, and then I was the second. But luckily, that one female who was on the team already was like very motivating to me as well too. She was like, "Sure, this is a boys club, but like we run this boys club. Let's go! Like we're great." So
love that.
She set a really great standard, and then she was promoted. But then I was in the same position with when one of my friends was promoted from inside sales into the same, like literally the same story I just told, but I was in the like more senior position at the time. So I tried to like kind of keep that same vibe that was given to me. Like, sure, we're surrounded by men, but we're just as great, if not better than them. So like, let's do this. So I've been fortunate. I haven't really felt like women have been like competitive against me for like the wrong reasons. But I have, been in situations where obviously there's way more men in the room than women.
When you started, like, I remember feeling intimidated about like a new girl coming in and like what that would be like. But then as soon as I got to know you, it was like, there's no intimidation. There's no reason to like have any fear of, there's no threat here. It's we're in this together. But I do remember like having those feelings of like, like another girl who has like a really great, like bubbly personality. Like, what if I don't stand out as much anymore? And I think I had to manage myself through that very quickly, and did, of course. But I mean, I think that feelings like those kinds of insecurities are totally normal, then it's a matter of like, how you react to it.
Yes. That is exactly right. It's how you manage how you feel about like you just nailed it, right? Like you acknowledge that you felt a certain way, and then you managed it, whether it's quickly or not, right? Like sometimes it takes, you don't know what to do with your feelings.
Because I don't think any woman wants to see another woman fail, but I think when they become competitive and tear other women down, it's because they feel threatened, or they think that's the only way to be successful in their own right. I just think everyone in their heart is good, but that's what I would like to hold on to. So I think it's just doing that shift that Skylar did.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's room for us all,
And that's on self-awareness.
But it's so, I really wish we had video for this, but like, it's so true. Like maybe I will show some of the video, but it's so true. Like, it's just recognizing like why you're feeling that way. And sometimes if you can sit with your feelings long enough, you might realize, gosh, I feel this way because this is the only route. Like I have to be this way. I'm feeling insecure. So I'm lashing out at them. Like knock it off. Like, right. Like just being able to like self-coach. Sometimes you need support, outside support, coach, therapist, whatever, like whatever it is. But like just sitting in your feelings and do you say mom?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Anybody, like you gotta just talk it out. But like, you can't be afraid to feel your feelings. Like I think that's huge. And I think you nailed it, Sky. Like, it's just, all right, I realize I'm feeling a little like kind of weird. Oh, like knock it off. Okay. Like let's get it together. Like, and that's okay.
Hey, Jahaan here. I hope you're enjoying the interview. I'm sure you are thinking about your own career right now and how you can pull out in front of the pack to take your career to the next level. For 18 years, supporting women in sports has been my favorite part of my career. And I would love to support you, whether it's joining my free Game of Her Own community or one of my one-on-one coaching programs. I am here for you. Send me a message at jblake@jahaanblake.com or DM me on Instagram at jahaanblake. And let's schedule a time to have a free session. I cannot wait to hear from you. All right, let's get back to why you're here.
So you guys come on the scene and you get your full-time jobs and you have like, you're in a fantastic position. And then you had a story, like literally a fairy tale story, it seemed like, you know, and you become Super Bowl champions, you get an incredible ring, like jaw-dropping, you know, Super Bowl championship ring. And you have this TikTok following. And take us through what made you guys start it. Like where did it come from? Whose idea was it?
This kind of goes back pretty far. So I made YouTube videos in like middle school, high school, college.
Oh yes, really, you told me this. Yes.
Like super like embarrassing. Like I made music videos. Like it's just like not.
Wait. Are they still online?
Unfortunately, have your fun. That's perfectly fine. I'm you know, a mature content creator now, so it's totally fine that there is really embarrassing stuff of me out there. But
Team Skylar.
Yeah, literally like.
What? Oh, you don't want to delete them?
Honestly, like the ones that are still up are.
You deleted some.
I deleted. I like privated a lot of them, but it's a part of me. Honestly, like it shaped me into like the person who dances for no reason and like wants to create content and like feels comfortable talking to a camera. And I traveled a lot for it in high school, college. Like it was really cool back then.
You traveled for what in college or high school?
So yeah, so I had a little bit of a following. I had like 25,000 subscribers, but back then in like 2011, like that was a more significant like number than maybe it like would seem now if you have that on YouTube. And there were like events, kind of like there's like sports business events all over the country all the time. Like there were YouTuber, like influencer events before kind of influencer was like the coined term. So like VidCon, MagCon, all these like different conventions that were all over the country. Like I would go, go to them and like be guests at some of them and stuff. But
wow. And you were known for your, I swear we'll get to TikTok in a second, but you were known for your, like, this is so fascinating. Like, so like you made, so you can sing, is that?
No. Like literally lip syncing music videos. Yeah. It's really lame. Like it's not something
it's
that
not,
like
though.
You were young.
I was young, but I look back on those videos and I was like, yeah, it was fun, but it was.
How'd you get into that?
Honestly, in middle school, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in 6th grade, and I didn't have many friends or kind of things I could do like outside of being home because I was in a lot of pain a lot of the time. And I kind of resorted to an internet community and started making friends online, which we tell people you should don't talk to strangers on the internet. Probably scared my parents for a while there, but
totally,
it worked out okay. Yeah. And so I just started making YouTube videos and like sharing things online. And that's kind of how I really got through a lot of like middle school and high school.
Wow. Yeah. That's incredible. So you have this diagnosis, you're home a lot, you're in a lot of pain, which is horrible to hear. And then you just kind of turn that pain into something else. That is a theme of yours, huh?
Yeah.
Like the chip on the shoulder, like then you become a YouTube star. Like, ooh, what else is coming your way? I mean, I can't wait. I want a part 2 of this interview with you guys. All right. So now that's how your, I don't know, love.
Yeah. That was just kind of what like, I think that whole experience then is what, as like now adults, I was able to say like, I want to use TikTok for something good and like make an impact and do something that like has some importance. Like I don't want to make music videos like for entertainment. Yeah, like I want to use this platform that is rapidly growing and use it for good. And then kind of cue my friendship with Jayme and cue Super Bowl championship. We were talking about like all of the content that we had and like all of the fun stuff that we did and stuff we wanted to share. And in addition to receiving like all these LinkedIn messages from people asking questions about breaking into the industry, I think that it was a little more forefront, as Bucs employees because of the year that we'd had and we were getting so many messages and we decided to find a way to combine both. And you can kind of
smush it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Sky first was like, hey, so I want to start a TikTok and I want it to be about like, we're women working in sports. And so I think we were sitting, it was like her birthday dinner or something. And we just were kind of talking through it. And that's when we started our notes. We have a shared note that we still use to this day with like all of our different ideas and like brainstorms and now our passwords too. So never hacking. Don't
tell them that.
high security. But yeah, and that's just when the brainstorming started. And She came over to this house where we're at now one day, and we sat at my dining room table with a bunch of books stacked underneath the phone and started making silly videos. And the first one, I think one of the first ones, maybe not the first one, that gained traction was we just said, hey, these are the jobs available now, entry-level jobs available now. Another one of the really early ones that got traction was Sky, because of her content creator YouTube background, likes to film herself doing things. I'm
You're getting better.
A little bit out of that. I'm slightly older than her, so it's not as natural to me to just film myself in my day to day.
Like I vlog a lot, like randomly throughout the day.
Even just for herself, not like, for anything else. And she vlogged our experience of leaving the office during COVID. And then 1 year later, it was the Super Bowl win. So that was our first, 6-figure views on TikTok. And that's what started upping our views from there. And then, we allowed our platform to kind of grow with what we were doing. So we have fun with it. We do trends and we make fun of ourselves, but then we also like to give back to the 42,000 people who are following us now, who are, the future leaders of the industry. We answer their questions. We're kind of here for that.
We try and share as many resources we can about
internships that are available.
Yeah, anything that is you don't know until you know kind of thing.
Yeah, but trying to tell these college students or these young professionals things we wish we knew when they were in when we were in their position, so they can do it right the first time rather than taking a couple times to do it.
It's just what a lot of us did is just learn from our mistakes. And so we're kind of saying, hey, look at the mistakes that we made. This is what we've learned through this process, even though, we're still kind of early in our career. This is what we've learned so far. And here's how you can take what we've learned and make it your own and go succeed,
I wish you were recording this on video too. Our hand motions are just fantastic.
I
made very animated.
I was gonna say I might do a reel with that, but that would take me an hour. So that is literally not my talent at all. Yeah. So okay. So you were a little bit nervous. Well, no, it sounds like Sky, this was natural to you. Jayme sounds like you were this is I'll do it.
Social media personality definitely wasn't my thought. I went to school for broadcasting, so I'm comfortable, being in front of people. I'm definitely a public speaker, but the whole influencer or content creator type of thing. I think it comes from your own insecurities of what other people are going to think about it. It does help to have a friend do it with you and not just be alone on the screen. I'm a little bit more comfortable sometimes when I make, videos on my own now. So thanks to Sky for that. I think, there's nothing wrong with being, putting yourself out there even further. But no, not nervous anymore. Now we make fools out of ourselves. Yeah. We've even started doing some funny dances recently.
Yeah. But it's funny.
With information with it.
Yeah.
There's a purpose.
For sure.
Lizzo has a really good song right now.
True. It's really addicting. Yeah. But one thing for me was I actually was extremely nervous when we started because I had so much micro success with what I did in the past that I was kind of putting pressure on myself. This needs to kind of become not that we had to blow up and go viral, but just I want this to I have this really good idea and this is the only person I want to do it with. And I really hope this ends up being what I imagine it can be. And it has surpassed all of I think either of our expectations. But I remember in the beginning, I was nervous to kind of start posting myself online again. And I was really grateful and still am that Jayme wants to do this crazy thing with me.
We're a year later now though. So it's extra cool now because a lot of these people who have been following us for, a couple months now, up to a year, have their first job in sports or have an internship or have had an internship or letting us know they're interviewing. So we're actually seeing hard success from it. And I think that's more validating than 40,000 followers.
Absolutely.
Or a couple 100,000 views. People saying, thank you so much. Your tips helped me get this interview. That's incredible. Yeah.
Yes. Anybody who's looking for they should be following you 100%. You're not charging for this content. You're putting it out there and you're helping the next generation of leaders. Like you said, they're out there. So let's help them. And do organizations contact you and tell you about their internships?
Sometimes it happened more earlier for some reason. I think when it was we were newer and organizations would comment. It's more the social media teams will on a team knowing that they have jobs posted will post in the comments, we're hiring, come check out they'll use it use our comment section as a forum to post that they have jobs available.
Yeah.
I think like college courses, like sports management professors let us know that they share our content, or they ask us to like chime in maybe to some like classes or their sports management clubs. So things like that, I'd say a little bit more of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't like,
Yeah,
and
that
there's
was
got
pretty flattering when sports management professors started reaching out, I think.
yeah. Like why? I mean, I 100% would like, and if I was working for a team, I'd be like, someone needs to tell Jayme and Sky like immediately. Like, so there's, I mean, they have a huge following and this huge community. Like, why not? There's groups on LinkedIn and you can post in, and I think those are great. But I do think they're, dare I say, like just a little tired, right?
Well,
like
I
this
think
is just
this is a
fun.
more like it's a more fun way to get to like a diverse group of people as well too. Like what about the people who aren't on LinkedIn, or what about the people who didn't really know you could have a job in professional sports, like don't quite understand the industry, and now somehow Sky and I are chatting on their For You page and they're like, wait, I can work in marketing, or I could work in accounting for Miami Marlins or whatever, you know what I mean, like my dream team. And then now they're learning about it. So I think it's a new way.
Because TikTok is so popular, it's like such an easy way to like create like not only like accessible content, but like content that's digestible. So it's like we try to make it fun, and we'll have like very conversational videos, like you're talking to a friend, or the more trendy, like using the sounds and the dances to kind of push out that same informational content, just like in a more digestible way, so that it like leaves an impact on so many different types of people who are watching TikTok all the time.
Gosh, should I start a TikTok? Like, should I create my TikTok account?
Yeah.
You should make
like
it's time. Swipe for a while, get the vibe. TikTok has its own culture.
Yeah.
You make one, you swipe for a couple of days, and then you'll be inspired.
All right, we'll see. I don't know. I'm like holding out, like really holding out. Like I held out forever for Instagram. Like I'm just like, I don't know. I'm too every social platform. I keep saying I'm too old. I'm too old for this.
Nope. And it's just another avenue to share what you do and share how you can help people, and it'll reach people who are different from, the audience you have on Instagram. That's what's so special about it.
How do you guys balance it all? Because that's all I can think about is, okay, that's another thing I got to put on my plate and balance and manage and have somebody help me with. Like, how do you guys balance that? Because it's the two of you, correct?
We had a learning curve at first, and I think we try to like overcomplicate it too. I think at first, we have a shared calendar, and we meet once a week. We like hang out because we're friends, and then we also like decide what we're going to film. We meet, but it's like after work. She lives right by the office, or sometimes you come to my house, but she lives right by the office. So, and she has better lighting in her apartment, so we film there, and we hang out for a little bit, and then the conversation turns to TikTok, and we're like, oh, what do our TikTok followers like? What are they commenting this week, and what trends are happening, or is it internship season? Like, like, should we post like, go apply for NFL internships? It just depends. So it changes every week, but we do like keep our standing Wednesday appointments with each other.
I love that. So when is it on the boat? When is it on your boat, Jayme?
When are we on the boat? Well, it's Florida weather. So whenever it's not raining on the weekends, that's when we're on the boat. Yeah.
I was dying in Sky's bio. She was like,
in her bio. That's awesome.
Yes. And it says it ends, and like Jayme invites her on the boat. I could not stop laughing. I was like, that is fantastic. These bios will be in LinkedIn, the show notes. So you guys can read it, and it will give you a laugh as well, even though I just kind of spoiled the end. Definitely linking to your TikTok account, your Instagram account, LinkedIn, and definitely linking to Sky's YouTube videos from her teen years, if she will let me. I was just hoping you'd make it easy and just send me a link. Don't make me work for it. So rapid fire, first thing that comes to your mind, I'll flip back and forth. So like, I'll say who goes, right?
The pressure.
You guys can't copy off of each other, but you really can, because it might be the same answer. All right. So let's start with Jayme. What is your favorite sports moment?
Okay. It's a freshman year of college. I know you thought I was going to say Super Bowl, but freshman year of college, I cheered for the University of Nevada, and we had a game against Boise State. Boise State was favored to play in the national championship game that year. It was 2010. Colin Kaepernick was our quarterback. We went into like double or triple overtime, and we beat them. And for like the first time in school history, we were ranked in the top 25 after that. It was incredible. It was freezing cold, and my coach made me do back handsprings down the end zone every single time we scored, and I was frozen, but it was the most fun I've ever had. So that tops literally, and anything. Yeah.
Seriously, you guys are like the best storytellers. I was like, and what else happens?
Oh, I could have made that a very long one, but yeah. So that was my rapid fire answer.
And that was well done. All right, Sky.
The Super Bowl.
All right, that was easy. All right, Sky. What is something people always get wrong about you?
Can I like phone a friend? What do people get wrong about me? I feel like I'm an open book.
You're very open.
It's hard for someone to get something wrong about me because I'm such an oversharer.
That's so funny.
Overshare. That's great.
Like, I think that's, yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
People are, yeah. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
All
what
right.
you see is what you get.
I like it. What about you, Jayme?
I've been told like throughout my life, sometimes I come off as intimidating, which like, if you know me, I'm not. So I think that's something like people get wrong from me off the bat. Maybe I just am a little bit too expressive with my face sometimes, but no.
Or maybe not expressive enough, because I get the same thing. They're like, I was so scared of you.
Okay.
And I'm like, why? I was just sitting.
You're like, I am the most compassionate person you'll ever meet. Chill.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why. Like, just come talk to me. Like, it's easy. Like, once you get to know me. Yeah, I feel you on that. All right, Jayme, what is one food you wouldn't want to give up?
One food, cheese.
Sorry, I don't know why that was funny to me.
She's lactose intolerant.
Same. I think I was jealous. I was just like, oh God, man, I want some cheese.
See, hearing her say that gave me a stomach ache, so I'm not jealous at all.
That's so funny. But I miss pizza. All right, Sky, what about you? What is one food you wouldn't give up?
Any form of potato.
Yes, right? Or like, do you like sweet potato or white potatoes?
Preferably white potatoes. Like, we'll go to a fancy restaurant and I'm still getting French fries on the side kind of thing. But like 100%. Mashed, baked, twice baked. I don't care. Like, I'll take any.
I think it was Forrest Gump, or when the guy's talking about the shrimp, different types of shrimp.
Shrimp, that one, yeah.
Smooth potatoes.
Oh my God. All right. Sky, are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning, absolutely.
Jayme.
Neither. Love to sleep. I really love it. When I lived on the West Coast, I was a morning person. It's something about being on the East Coast. So maybe I'm a morning person on the West Coast, nighttime on the East Coast.
Oh, that's really funny.
I wake up at 5 a.m. and I text her, like, respond to something, and I won't expect an answer for 5 hours.
No, well, you shouldn't text anybody at 5 a.m. unless you're on your way to pick them up for a flight.
Morning now.
I'm like top of the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
let it be known that you cannot text me at 5 a.m. and I'm a morning person. I'd be like, what are you doing, dude? If I wake up and I see text messages, I'm like, something's wrong. Like, I'm always like, who's texting me? Yeah. All right, Jayme, favorite holiday?
I love them all. I have a wonderful mother who made every holiday, even St. Patrick's Day, so special. But I have to say Halloween, I have had some amazing costumes in my time.
All right. Okay. Any that you're willing to share for the show notes?
I
was totally kidding.
Yeah, I really liked my first couple costume with my husband and my last one because I riled him into it. We were the Statue of Liberty and Uncle Sam, like his hair was even white and everything. And then most recently we were Doug and Penny from Doug. Do you remember that show?
No. What show?
You don't remember Doug? It was a Nickelodeon cartoon show.
No, I am a little bit older than you guys, so maybe that's it.
No, I don't think Sky would remember this. It was a cartoon. Anyways, I have a picture I can share with you.
Our best couple costume was Tom Brady and Bruce Arians.
We were Bruce and Tom Brady at the.
I need for the. Did you post that somewhere? I need that.
We did, yeah.
Everyone needs to see that.
That was good. We went to the New Orleans Saints game. The Bucs went there, and we flew out just for the day, like morning, back by night, and we're Tom Brady and Bruce Arians.
That's fantastic. I need to show my husband that because he's a huge Tampa Bay Bucs fan, which is really funny. Okay, favorite holiday, Sky.
Thanksgiving, because it's really the only one I spend with my family.
All right. What job would you absolutely be horrible at doing?
Anything where I have to get my hands really dirty and like get down in the mud.
Any form of physical.
Yeah, manual labor is not. I mean, like I'll do like game day labor kind of style stuff, but like actual like construction work, real manual labor, I would probably die on day one.
All right, Jayme.
I can blame my feeble joints, but at the end of the day, it's not my personality.
Feeble joints. Things no one has ever said on this podcast after 112 episodes.
You're welcome.
Yes. What would I be bad at, Sky? I feel like you'd be better at telling me this than me.
You're good at everything. You're literally good at everything that you try.
I think I'm not doing this because I'm cocky. I just really can't think of something I'd be terrible at. Probably really bad at accounting.
I mean, I think that's fair. I don't think you're cocky. You're confident. Both of you. Like I said, high achieving women. Like you guys are badasses. I love it. All right. Jayme, what is your favorite app? That was a stupid question.
Right now, Duolingo.
I thought you were going to say TikTok.
I started Duolingo like 9 days ago. They're big on TikTok, so it's all relative. They have the best TikTok. But also I started doing it because I took German in high school and in college. Ooh. And now we're playing in Germany this year and I'm kicking myself in the butt for not staying up with it. So I got Duolingo and I've been practicing every day, my German, and I'm going to be fluent in like 2 weeks. I'm ready.
She's got me on Duolingo as well. So I'm doing it for Spanish though, because that's what I took like in middle school, high school. So I'm relearning Spanish.
Wow. I thought you said doodle lingo and I was like, what? I don't even know what that means, but the Duolingo makes much more sense.
Like
okay.
The little
good.
owl. Yeah.
Oh, all right. We're linking to that in the show notes. The show notes are going to be like hot. All right. So
that's our vibe.
So Sky, what about you? Favorite app?
I'd probably go on Instagram the most still. Yeah. Love TikTok. Like no hate to TikTok, but
you always go back to Instagram.
I always go back to Instagram.
So Sky, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, if you had to pick one.
Instagram.
I thought you were going to say Twitter almost.
No, I was leaning towards LinkedIn because it's the least toxic of all of them.
It's becoming toxic though.
That's fair.
Sorry.
That's fair.
It is.
I like how you whisper it like LinkedIn can't hear you.
You never know. You never know who's listening, Jahaan.
This is true. All right. Jayme, what about you? Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram?
I'm going to have to say Instagram as well too. I'm really liking, I think people are going to hate it, but I loved the shopping feature on it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love anything that's easy. Like
so
make
easy.
my life easy.
Yep. Yeah. Here for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Jayme, who is your biggest inspiration in life?
My mom. Yeah. She's great. She's wonderful. She's so loving and everyone loves her.
You guys should make sure your parents listen to this.
Okay.
Just in case you want to ask for something big. Sky.
Definitely. I mean, my mom's the reason I got into working in like entertainment at all. On a more like in the industry level, you're a big inspiration of mine. I look up to Deanna Witter a lot.
She's awesome.
Kelly Hine. I have a lot of really, really great mentors. I'm very lucky. So I look up to all of them a lot.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm going to make sure to link to Deanna Witter's episode as well in the show notes. You guys, if you haven't listened to it, you 100% should. She's fantastic. As a child, I was excited about this. Sky, as a child, what did you wish to become when you grew up?
A YouTube sensation.
And now you're a TikTok sensation.
Look at that.
Yeah, definitely that.
So funny. Jayme?
Oh my goodness. So I try to remember like what I drew on those sheets when you're supposed to draw your like dream career. And I feel like it was different every single year of school. It was always ever changing. I know that sounds kind of lame, but I never really had like a dream career. I just had, I think I had like general goals that I always kind of like sought after, like whether that was with family or travel or making an impact on other people's lives. And so, yeah. Sorry.
No, I don't think I think it's a good answer. And I have a friend who she just published a book and we started at the Red Sox together, and her reel, she's really funny. You guys should follow her, but her reel today to announce her book launch was about all the different dreams she had when she was a kid.
Aww.
Yeah.
And she made it super funny. Like, so like she just goes through all of it and it's just like, yeah, that's what happens. And now she's like a published author. So you guys should look at it. And of course, y'all know I'm going to link to it in the show notes because that's, I guess, what this episode is all about. All right. Last question. Jayme, you go first. Okay. Finish the sentence. The future of women working in sports is?
Now.
Yes. I love that. Sky?
Leaders. Yes. Are leaders. I'm just going to change the grammar.
Don't worry. I have the worst grammar, so it's fine. Like people won't notice.
We is leaders.
Yeah.
We is leaders. Yeah, we're going to end on that note. You guys have been fantastic. Okay, if people want to get in touch with you, what is the best way to do that?
Our Instagram is at Jayme and Sky, JaymeandSky. And that's the same at our TikTok as well. And then we're both on LinkedIn, Jayme Floyd and Skylar Whitman.
Yes, I love it. You guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Yes, this was fun.
So what did you think of this episode? Do you know another woman who works or is aspiring to work in sports? Would you do me a favor and share this with them? It would mean so much if together we could support and inspire other women on their journey. And let's stay connected. I love meeting and talking to new people. Follow me on Instagram at Jahaan Blake and join the free Game of Her Own community by visiting jahaanblake.com. I can't wait to meet you.